Mr. Chain, too, I was wondering, what's it like writing for animation? Because I'm looking to get into writing myself. I just wanted to know if there's any advice you can give.
What's the secret to writing?
Yeah, like what, just for writing, you have any advice for someone who wants to get into the field?
If you want to get into the field of writing, if you like being alone in a room by yourself with an empty screen, wondering if you're ever going to get out, hoping that maybe someone will call you and say, let's go to lunch or let's do something, then you're the right quality for a writer. The secret to writing is everything else. People are always, because I taught writing and acting and all of that, it's making crap up. That's all it is. The way to write is to sit down in front of a blank screen and fill it up with words. Somerset Maugham once said that the way that he wrote was he would sit at a typewriter and he would write, "My name is Somerset Maugham. I live in a villa in the south of France." And then whatever came after that was the book.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I wanted to know if Powerglides catchphrase, like, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Powerglide, was that ad-libbed?
No.
That was the script?
No, we pretty much stuck to script back then, because in animation, everything is limited, and you don't want to stretch stuff out. You know, adding 5 words is more frames of animation for somebody in Korea or Ireland or wherever they were doing the show at the time to do. So we kept everything very tight. And because I had written so many shows and knew how important it was to stay to it, I always pretty much stayed to script unless I was told, go for it. And that didn't occur very much on Transformers.
And my second question is, do you have any advice for people who want to write for TV shows or whatnot, or general thing to keep in mind?
Just do it. You know, sit down and write. There's a zillion books out there now about how to write screenplays. I think Sid Fields had a pretty good book on that. You need a beginning, a middle, and an end. Get a couple of copies of scripts from the library so you can see what they look like, and write. The way I started was I'd broken up my band, and I didn't have anything to do, and my mother was writing a television show, and she said, "Michael, you should be a writer. You haven't suffered enough." And she said, "Well, write a script for this," and I wrote a script for it, and they submitted it, and I ended up being the head writer on that show under my own mother. And it turned out okay. We won what do they call that? The Peabody Award or something. Or any road. You never know what's going to be good. I had a guy who came to me when I was doing Rambo who had never done anything other than shot people. He was an honest-to-God merc, and a friend of mine said, "You should talk to this guy. He may have some ideas for stuff." And I was the head writer, and I was part of the deal that I'd made with the writers because I wanted to have the best writers in town doing that show. And all of the writers that I hired were people like my mother, who were top writers who'd all won Emmys or Oscars or whatever. And anything that was written, that wasn't perfect, I would just rewrite it to make it fit the format for the show. So I figured, what the hell, what have I got to lose with this guy? So I had him do an episode, a guy named Steve Hayes. And Steve wrote the thing, and it was pretty good. I had very little rewrite to do. And he ended up having a show called Tarzan. I think he wrote like 100 episodes of that. So the thing about being a writer is you are a writer or you're not. And you'll find out when you start writing. It's like being an actor. You'll find out if you're an actor when you start acting.
Thank you.